Welcome to our countdown of the top 10 facts from the A Quiet Place franchise that every fan must know. From behind-the-scenes secrets to intriguing trivia, we're diving into the world of silence and survival.
Before we kick off the countdown, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you stay in the loop for our upcoming videos. Don't hesitate to drop your requests in the comments for what you'd like to see next.
Number 10. Awards of the A Quiet Place franchise. Here are the awards they received these past few years. A Quiet Place 2018. Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Performance by a Female Actor in a Supporting Role, Emily Blunt. Critics' Choice Movie Award for Best Sci-Fi Horror Movie, Bandung Film Festival for Imported Film. Satellite Award for Best Sound, Editing and Mixing. Academy Awards, nomination for Best Sound Editing, Ethan van der Rijn and Eric Ardal. A Quiet Place 2, 2021. Critics' Choice Super Awards. Nomination for Best Horror Movie, People's Choice Awards. Nomination for Favourite Thriller Movie. Saturn Award winner of Best Horror Film. Screen Actors Guild Awards. Nomination for Outstanding Performance by a Female Actor in a Supporting Role, Emily Blunt. These are the award and nomination that was received for the A Quiet Place franchise. The first A Quiet Place movie, the Abbott family navigates a post-apocalyptic world overrun by blind alien creatures with hypersensitive hearing. They strive to survive in silence, grieving the loss of their youngest son, who was killed by one of the creatures. And later in the ending situation, the father also died. In A Quiet Place. Part 2. The surviving members of the Abbott family, Evelyn, Regan, Marcus, and their newborn baby continue their struggle for survival. They venture into the outside world, encountering both allies and new threats while discovering weaknesses in the alien creatures. Regan, armed with the knowledge of a high-frequency sound that can incapacitate the aliens, becomes pivotal. Both A Quiet Place and A Quiet Place Part 2 were directed by John Krasinski, who also co-wrote and starred in the films. Krasinski drew inspiration from various sources for the movies. For the first film, Krasinski was inspired by the concept of parenthood and the lengths parents would go to protect their children. Additionally, he was influenced by classic suspenseful horror films like Jaws and Alien, which rely on tension and atmosphere rather than excessive gore. In the sequel, Krasinski continued to explore themes of family and survival, expanding the world established in the first film. He aimed to delve deeper into the characters' emotional journeys while maintaining the tension and suspense that made the original movie successful. Overall, Krasinski's vision for the A Quiet Place franchise was to create a unique blend of horror, suspense, and heartfelt storytelling, emphasizing the power of family bonds in the face of overwhelming adversity. Number 7. Emmett, the Thieves and the People of the Island. Emmett is a character from the movie A Quiet Place and its sequel, A Quiet Place Part 2. He is portrayed by actor Cillian Murphy. In the sequel, Emmett is a friend of the Abbott family who becomes a surrogate father figure to Regan and Marcus after the death of their father. He helps them navigate the dangers of the world, overrun by creatures that hunt by sound, offering guidance and protection. A Quiet Place, Part 2. The thieves refer to a group of survivors who have turned to more ruthless tactics to survive in the post-apocalyptic world. These individuals have resorted to stealing and exploiting others in order to ensure their own survival. They are portrayed as a dangerous and desperate group, posing a threat to the protagonists as they navigate the dangerous landscape filled with alien creatures that hunt by sound. In A Quiet Place Part 2, the people on the island are survivors who have sought refuge there after the world was overrun by death angels that hunt by sound. The island provides a relatively safe haven due to its isolation and the fact that the creatures cannot swim. These survivors likely found their way to the island by boat or other means of water transportation, fleeing the chaos and danger on the mainland in search of safety. Number 6. The cast of the movie, A Quiet Place 2018. John Krasinski as Lee Abbott, and who is also the director of the movie. Emily Blunt as Evelyn Abbott. Millicent Simmons as Regan Abbott. Noah Jupe as Marcus Abbott. Cade Woodward as Bo Abbott. Leon Russum as the Old Man Shout in the Woods. A Quiet Place Part 2. 2020, Emily Blunt as Evelyn Abbott. Millicent Simmons as Regan Abbott. Noah Jupe as Marcus Abbott. Jimon Hounsone as the leader of the island. Cillian Murphy as Emmett. And John Krasinski as Lee Abbott, and still the director of the franchise. Number 5. The high frequency of the radio. In the first A Quiet Place movie, the high-frequency feedback from the radio is not specifically used as a weapon against the creatures. Instead, the family primarily uses strategies to minimize sound and avoid attracting the creatures' attention. They communicate through sign language, walk barefoot on sand paths to muffle their footsteps, and use various soundproofing methods to stay as quiet as possible. However, there is a scene where the father, Lee Abbott, experiments with amplifying the radio signals to gather information about the creatures and their weaknesses. This scene establishes the idea that sound can affect the creatures, laying the groundwork for how sound is later used in the sequel to combat them. In A Quiet Place Part 2, the antagonist creatures, often referred to as death angels or simply creatures, are highly sensitive to sound. The high-frequency feedback from the radio in the movie disorients and weakens them because it overwhelms their hypersensitive auditory system. The creatures rely on sound to hunt and navigate, so when they encounter a loud or high-frequency noise, it disrupts their ability to function effectively, providing an opportunity for the protagonists to escape or defend themselves. Number 4. The influence to the other movies. A Quiet Place has definitely influenced and inspired other movies and TV shows, particularly in the horror and thriller genres. Its unique premise of characters having to remain silent to evade deadly creatures has sparked interest and innovation in storytelling. Some examples of works that may have been influenced by A Quiet Place include Bird Box, 2018. This Netflix film shares similarities with A Quiet Place in terms of a post-apocalyptic setting and the need for characters to avoid a mysterious threat by using senses other than sight. The Silence, 2019. Another Netflix film that follows a family struggling to survive in a world overrun by deadly creatures who hunt by sound. While based on a novel published before A Quiet Place, The film's release was influenced by the success of the latter. Don't Breathe, 2016. While released before A Quiet Place, this thriller similarly focuses on characters trying to evade a dangerous threat by remaining silent. Sound of Metal, 2019. Though not a horror film, this drama explores themes of silence and sound perception, which could have been influenced by the emphasis on sound in A Quiet Place. Overall, A Quiet Place has made a significant impact on storytelling within the horror and thriller genres, inspiring other creators to explore similar themes and concepts in their work. Number 3. The Farm, the Island, and the Radio Station. Farm. The farm setting was inspired by director John Krasinski's upbringing in a rural environment. He wanted to create a secluded and isolated atmosphere to enhance the tension and vulnerability of the characters. Island? The island featured in A Quiet Place Part 2 was a creative addition to expand the world of the story. It serves as a refuge for survivors, allowing the filmmakers to explore new dynamics and challenges within the silent world they established in the first film. Radio Station. The radio station serves as a plot device to introduce new characters and advance the storyline. Its inspiration likely stems from the necessity for communication and information sharing in a post-apocalyptic world where traditional forms of communication may be limited or non-existent.
What we got? We got units headed out there now. EMS and fire. Whereabouts? I think out by Walker's farm.
Number 2. The Death Angels or the Creature. In the A Quiet Place franchise, the creatures known as the Death Angels are lethal predators that hunt by sound. They are highly sensitive to any noise and have acute hearing abilities, which makes silence imperative for survival in their world. The presence of these creatures sets the stage for a tense and suspenseful atmosphere throughout the movies, as the characters must navigate their surroundings without making any noise. The constant threat of the Death Angels adds a significant element of danger and urgency to the plot, driving the characters to find innovative ways to stay alive while evading detection. Overall, the creatures play a central role in creating the intense and chilling atmosphere that defines the A Quiet Place films.
Before we reveal the number 1, we'd like to ask you to support our channel by hitting the like button and subscribing. By doing so, you'll stay updated with more fascinating videos that you're sure to find engaging and entertaining. Your support means a lot, and we look forward to sharing more amazing content with you in the future.
Number 1. A Quiet Place. The film franchise is named A Quiet Place because the story revolves around a world where creatures with hypersensitive hearing hunt humans who make noise. As a survival strategy, the characters in the film must live in near-total silence to avoid detection by these creatures. The title reflects the central theme of silence and the importance of quietness for survival in the post-apocalyptic world depicted in the movies. This coming June 2024, a new movie will be released. A Quiet Place, Day 1 is an upcoming American apocalyptic horror film that serves as a spin-off prequel in the A Quiet Place film series. It is directed by Michael Sarnoski, who wrote the screenplay based on an original story by John Krasinski.